Hi, I'm Trisha, and I'm over at Skidaway State Park right now in Savannah, Georgia area. And I'm adding another story to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to talk about energy. I'm going to talk about the Warrens Occult Museum, my road trip back in August of 2016. I'm going to talk about good energy. I'm going to talk about good experiences. I'm going to talk about pre-paving or segment intending or planning, all the same sort of thing, so that you're preparing for a good trip or a good time in your life, or a good experience, thinking ahead. And so I wanted to kind of share what that means through telling my story. So back in August of 2016, I decided to go on a road trip from Savannah, Georgia, up through the states to Deerfield, Massachusetts. And so I did some research on where do I want to stay. I was going to camp and stay at a friend's house there and back. And I wanted to have I wanted to go to some places that had paranormal experiences there that have happened wherever. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. But I did research and decided to camp, and then I ended up getting to stay at a couple friends' houses, like I said, there and back. Okay, so on the way there, I just had a really great time. I brought my animals, and the first night I stayed in Virginia Beach at First Landing State Park, and it was just a great time. Nothing nothing really just to talk about much. It was just a good experience. Nothing bad happened. Okay, it was just a pleasant time staying at a campsite. Stayed the night and then hiked a little bit, and then went on my way. Then I stopped in Central Park and went on a hike inside Central Park. And when I got there, it was probably about 5 o'clock, 5:30 or something like that. So it was going to be a quick trip. And while I was in the park, I found a single track trail that took you through some forest. And it was really pretty inside there. It was also the time of the year, it was the beginning of August. There was wildflowers out. And while I was inside the trails, I noticed a little I saw something out of the corner of my eye. It looked like a flash of a dot of light. And then I looked over and I realized it was fireflies. So I did not know that there were fireflies inside of Central Park. So that was really neat to me. I mean, I'm from California where there isn't fireflies, so to be able to see that was a really nice surprise, and it was a good surprise. That's what I'm saying. Like, throughout my whole trip, I had very pleasant experiences. Okay, and through my doing research of the law of attraction, which also means the same thing as timing, which also is the same as a momentum of energy building on itself through thoughts. And my thoughts were all thinking about the experiences that I wanted to have, good experiences that I wanted to have. So went through, I ended up staying the night in the mountains of New York that night, camped. That was really nice too. Very just, nothing really much to say other than I got to camp in the mountains of New York, and then did the road trip through the mountains of New York, through the mountains of Connecticut, on to Massachusetts, to Deerfield, Massachusetts. Stayed a couple days at a friend's house, and then on the way back, I stopped in Monroe, Connecticut, and through some turn of events, there was a guy that worked at this park there. I wanted to go swim in a lake at this park, and I got to do that. And then this guy that worked there, he let me stay at his house for 2 nights in the spare room that's his mom's room. So that was really nice on, I don't know, like 10 acres of very pretty land in Connecticut. And I felt very fortunate to have that happen. And then I went to the Warrens Occult Museum. And I don't know if you know much about this. Hold on a second. I have hair on my arm and it's totally bugging me. I need to get that off there. Okay, yay. Okay. All right. So if you do a little research about the Warrens Occult Museum, you will learn that over the 50 plus years of the Warrens going to and researching and helping people in their very haunted homes with some maybe minor hauntings all the way to very, very negative hauntings. They would take the object that was in the home or the object that was associated with something very negative, so they had this space in their house where they would put all these objects, and they would have a priest come and do a type of blessing and binding type I don't know what you call it, like a ceremonial sort of blessing to keep the objects held there and bring in some very positive energy to keep the space as neutral and positive as possible. Now, if you listen to any of their interviews or some of their books, they, Ghost Tracks is one, and the Demonologist, very good books. I've listened to a bunch of times, learned a lot from them. They have had experiences in their home from the cases that they were on, and then because of the objects that were in this museum. Okay. Now, when I went there, I didn't do a ton of research until after, actually, I went there. So I kind of went in a little bit blind. I mean, I did see some footage of the museum over the years, but not a ton. Okay, so I'm telling you this because I actually had a very positive experience after going there and going to Ed's gravesite afterwards that same day. And I started realizing that I actually was feeling a very positive vibration, a very positive energy from being at this museum. And my bird is chewing on the wood over here, so I had to come over here and tell her to stop it. There she is. Say hi, Manny. Hi. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what I'm talking about is, in my spiritual studies over the years, in my developing my inner senses, in my studying about metaphysics and energy, and really kind of thinking about, okay, I had some really positive experiences. What led me to having these positive experiences in the paranormal realm or in life? And then opposite, like, okay, so I had some not so great experiences with these people or that situation. What led up to that? What was I thinking about? What was going on in my life? This sort of thing, because, I have had some positive and not so great experiences with people in my life, and I've wanted to understand how to have, better experiences, okay? So leading to me going on this trip and back, I really planned it. I really thought about it. What did I want to do? What did I want to see? I really thought of what I wanted to happen, meaning I wanted to have a good time. I wanted it to go well. Those are the things I was thinking about. So I feel through my research and my understanding about the law of attraction, the timing, things like that, that it allowed me to have a very synchronistic, mystical, very high frequency type of experience. So while I was at the museum, I realized, Manny, stop it. I realized that I was feeling the energies of, and this may sound different if you haven't ever experienced anything like this before, but I was feeling a very high energy vibration of protection. I mean, I could feel the layers of protection that were in this museum. The feeling of between us humans that were there from the objects. And it was the feeling of love, of safety, of comfort, of euphoria. And all these feelings are good energy, positive energy, good energy, high vibration, high frequency of good energy. And this feeling stayed with me for days and days and days. I felt it. It was such a pleasant feeling. I felt loved. I felt cared for. I felt protected. I felt safe. And this is what I want people to understand. If you prepare yourself in life, or if you're going to go do investigations or go to places that you're not sure of what's there, or you do know what's there and you want to have a good time, preparing yourself, preparing your own energy. What are you thinking about? What are you doing? This sort of thing as you're going towards having the experience. So after I left the museum, I drove to Ed's, the cemetery that Ed Warren is buried in, and now Lorraine. And at the time, Lorraine was alive, and Ed was the only one there. And I'm going to tell you, I could feel also beings there, like high beings, like archangel beings, like archangels, all sorts of high beings from the light at his site, protecting, loving, honoring, all of it good, all very good. And also, I've gone to many cemeteries. Cemeteries are really interesting to me. There's a lot of history going on there, and I just have always enjoyed walking through and the different ones, reading the different markers and these sorts of things. And so this cemetery is the most, or around his site, was the most alive feeling I've ever had in a cemetery before. And it was amazing. And I felt welcomed there too. I felt welcomed there too. And so during my whole trip was just the timing was so helpful to me. Anytime I had a little bit of, oh gosh, where am I going to stay tonight? I thought there was going to be camping here, and there's not. And then that guy that worked at the park, he happened to call me, and said, do you need somewhere to stay? Like somehow his, thought was maybe I did, and I did. And so I got to stay, very safe person, very safe house. And then on the way back, I stayed at a couple different campgrounds on the way back, and that was just also very pleasant experiences. Just everything went very smooth. I met really nice people. I had a little bit of some interesting spirit activity in one of the campgrounds I stayed at in South Carolina. All good, though. I'm saying all good. I even had where I found out that there was the night that I stayed at this campground in South Carolina, that night was the first night of a meteor shower. But it was cloudy and misty, and there was also fireflies at this place too, and that was neat. And so the ranger came by to say hi and make sure I was all right. And he was telling me about this meteor shower going on, and he was like, that's too bad, it's cloudy. Well, right when he was talking about that, I decided to look straight up in the air, and it was completely cloudy, except there was a strip of opened clouds, very thin, like almost like right above my campsite. And right when I looked up, it was like completely clear sky, like this strip of sky, and one of the most amazing shooting stars I've ever seen, just with the tail and everything, just went like right down that strip of open space. Like that was so clear in that space, like you could just see the most amazing sky in that space. And I yelled out like, whoa, like that, and he startled for a second, like, what? And I'm like, I just saw the most amazing shooting star ever. So just little fun things like this happened the whole trip. And so I'm saying all this because I want to teach people that in life, that if you learn how to, it's like planning, planning ahead, and expecting to have a good time, to wanting to have a good time, to thinking of what you want to have happen. All these things are the law of attraction playing out. Another, like I said, another term for law of attraction is timing, synchronicity, and the momentum. You can have where you're thinking things you don't want to have happen, and then that's when things can start going, not right. That's like where you run out of gas, and you come upon not nice people, and you get bad service at the restaurant you stop at, or then you go and you're tuning in to like the not good things, and then that's So I really had a very mystical, magical, synchronistic experience, and I am very thankful that I got to tune in due to my, liking attract like, right? Like energy attracts like energy. So I felt very honored by the fact that because of me doing my own work on myself, my vibration was at such that I was able to connect with the very high vibration of archangels and angels, and the energy of love and protection and safety and good times and all that. So I just wanted to share that. And so hope you have a great day, and look for my next videos. And you can also find some of my other videos where I talk about some of my other unique experiences that I've had in my life. And if you'd like to comment or suggest anything, or if you'd like me to talk about other topics or other interests in this realm of unique, paranormal, mystical, spiritual, etc., let me know. Okay, bye.